Thank you. Okay, geometry. Wednesday, my dudes, and on Wednesdays, we do in fact wear pink. Okay? Students will be able to use parallel lines and transversals to find angle measures. Section 4.2, okay? We're going to continue off from where we left. We're going to continue off from where we left. Last time we talked about these different kinds of angle relationships you could have, okay? So we went through, we said parallel lines, skew lines, transversal, interior angles, exterior angles. Then we went through and we had this table. We talked about corresponding angles, alternate interior angles, alternate exterior angles, same side interior or same side exterior. And we said, hey, we have some examples, some descriptions, and facts, but these facts are only true when what happens? Facts are only true when what? The two lines are parallel. The two lines intersected by the transversal are parallel. If these two lines are parallel, then yes, in fact, these are true, okay? The same side exterior and same side interior angles are supplementary. And then our other three, alternate exterior, alternate interior, and corresponding angles would all then be congruent. Only when those lines are parallel. We went through and we had that corresponding angles postulate, if we recall, and we said, hey, if I went and found one angle, and I knew that these corresponding angles were congruent, these lines are parallel, we could go find all these other ones, which is what we did. And we said, and that's how we came up with those different angle relationships at the end of class yesterday, or excuse me, 2 days ago. Okay, so now we're gonna look up here, and we're gonna go through this quick review here. Okay, this quick review here. It says, ooh, that says 3.2. That's botch.
I don't know where we're starting from.
You don't know where we're starting from? Okay. 4.2. So, if you went from, it's on the third page in right now. We're on the third page in. So if this is the front, you flip it. We're on the third page in, about halfway down. Third page in, halfway down. It's the page right before the table. Page right before the table, okay? Height. That's an interesting flex.
I hope Gracie doesn't have like the flu.
Same. Okay. So review angle 3. What does angle 3 correspond to? Raise your hand to help me out with what angle 3 corresponds to.
7.
Okay. It does correspond to 7. Angle 3 corresponds to angle 7. They're in the same spot. They're both in the bottom left of their vertex. Okay. Angle 6 is vertical to what angle?
Wait,
Angle 6 is vertical to what angle? Angle 7. Yeah, thanks. Not again. Okay, vertical angles, they are opposite each other. Their sides make the x. Okay. Vertical angles are always congruent regardless of if lines are parallel or not. Angle 7 is an alternate exterior angle with what angle? Angle 2. Very good. They alternate sides of the transversal, hence alternate. And they're both exterior or outside those two lines cut by a transversal. Angle 4 is the same side interior angle with what angle? 6. They're on the same side of the transversal. 4 and 6 are on the same side of the transversal, hence same side. They're both interior inside these two lines. So it meets all these descriptions. Okay? 4 would be a vertical angle with 1. Okay. Angle 8 forms a linear pair with what two angles? Angle blank and angle blank.
What?
Linear
What
pair.
angle?
Linear pair means it makes a what?
Angle 1.
Oh, never mind.
Not quite angle 1. That'd be alternate exterior.
8.
3.
7 and 6. Those are the two that it makes a straight line with. Linear pair. We see the word line and linear. Okay? Pair means two. Two angles that make a line. 7 and 8 make a line. 8 and 6 make a line. So 8 forms a linear pair with both of those. Okay, questions on those? Okay, right below this, guys, we have this, we're saying, hey, in these 3 scenarios, we're going to say, given the lines are parallel, so we're going to say in each of these scenarios, okay, this line is parallel to this line. Up here, this line is parallel to this line. The first one, A and B, are parallel. Second one, A and C, are parallel. And this one, these 2 lines are parallel as well, okay? We're saying, given the lines are parallel, find the missing variable. We're saying, okay, it walks us through steps here. These are the steps you would walk through. Now, like on a test or something like that, you wouldn't have these steps. Or on homework, you wouldn't have these steps. Right now in our notes, it's giving us these steps so we can walk through it. Our first question is, what kind of angle is this? What kind of angle relationship do we have here between these 2 angles?
Corresponding.
Okay, not quite.
Wait, no. Alternate exterior.
alternate x here. They alternate sides of our transversal. One's on the right side of this transversal, one's on the left. So they alternate. I'll just put alt there as an abbreviation. And they are exterior, those two lines. So they're alternate exterior angles. Okay? So if the lines are parallel, are alternate exterior angles congruent or are they supplementary? This is the fact we'll end up having to memorize. Okay, we'll have to memorize this fact. Okay? Congruent. And hey, if we look at this picture, pictures aren't always the best way to tell, but if we even look at this picture, do these look more like they're going to be congruent or like they're going to add up to 180? They look more like they're going to be congruent because they can't add up to 180 if they're both less than 90. They're both less than 90 degrees, because 90 degrees would be like here and here. Okay, they're both less than that, so they can't add up to 180.
So if they're like on opposite lines,
You have to give an explanation.
Okay.
For equation.
Under equation. Okay, so we're going to say if they're congruent, we set up some sort of equation then for these two in order to find a variable. They equal each other. 3a minus 15 equals 2a plus 10. Would it have mattered which of these sides we put first? Would it have been okay if we had done 2a plus 10 is equal to 3a minus 15? Yeah, that'd be perfectly fine. Okay.
why would it equal 180? Why would it be plus the 2?
Because it's not supplementary. If it was supplementary, that means they add the 180, but it's not. Okay? So now we have this equation, okay? So we walk through these steps, we say, okay, hey, first of all, these lines are parallel. Okay? So that means they're either going to be congruent or supplementary. So we figure out, okay, what kind of angle ratio do we have? Alternate exterior angles. What do we know about those? When the lines are parallel, they're congruent. We have this equation that congruent should be telling us that, hey, we set them equal to each other. Cowbell is going off your head, things set them equal. So now from here, we just solve this algebra equation. Our algebra wheels kick in, and what do we have to do? Okay, subtract 2a on both sides. We want to get all of our a's together, all of our variables together. So what's 3a minus 2a? A minus 15 equals 10. So 2a minus 2a is 0. Okay? Now that we got all the a's together on one side, we want to get all the normal numbers together on the other side. So how do we get rid of this negative 15 away from the a? Add 15 to both sides. Negative 15 plus itself is 0. A is equal to what's 10 plus 15?
15.
25. It's funnier than 24. Okay? And we were asked just to find the missing variable. Do we find the missing variable?
Yes.
Yeah. Could we go back in and plug it in the angle if it asked us to? Yeah. Yeah, we could go back and plug it in the angle. Okay? Is it asking us to though? No. We also could go back in and check it. You can get up here, okay? We could also go back in and check it because if we plug it into these two angles, what should they end up being? Not 180, but
Oh my gosh, I keep saying that. I know it's not that.
okay. What should they end up being? If the angles are congruent, what should they be? The rest
Each other.
equal to each other. If we plug them back in, they should be equal to each other. Okay. And also, quick math to tell you that this one is 60 degrees, and this one would also be 60 degrees. Okay.
You just did that on the top of your head.
But they would be congruent. So you can do that to check your work, okay? If you don't end up getting them congruent, you did something wrong, time to go back and fix it.
Wait, I thought they'd be 25. Oh wait, forgot.
A is 25, you gotta plug it in. Like 25 times 2 is 50, plus 10 is 60.
Yeah.
Question on that first one. Okay, second one in the middle here. What kind of angle is this, okay? So I was asking, these two angles here. Same side, interior. They're on the same side of the transversal, and they're both interior. So they're same side interior angles. When those lines are parallel, are those same side interior angles congruent or supplementary? That's our big fact. So supplementary. Okay, and if you're gonna look at them, it doesn't look like they're the same. It really just doesn't. Okay. So now, Grace, what equation would we do?
You add them together, and that equals 180.
Yeah, you do 6b minus 9 plus 12b plus 11, and that equals 180. You add them together to get 180. Once again, it really doesn't matter which one you put first, because we put the 12b plus 11 plus 6b minus 9 equals 180, that'd be fine. So here, to combine like terms, are we going to be like subtracting 6b from both sides? No, you just combine the 6b and 12b. They're on the same side already. Okay, so you don't have to move it across like we did on the previous one. So what's 6b plus 12b? 18b, okay? And here's a little trick I do for combining like terms in algebra 1. Those who had me in algebra 1, you might remember this. I put one underline underneath our b's. Say, hey, those are like terms. 6 plus 12 is 18b. And then I put two underlines underneath our constant. So that way I know, okay, there's an underline underneath it. I already took care of it. And these two underlines correspond with the two underlines. They go together. And the ones go with the ones. So it's negative 9 plus 11 plus 2. And that equals 180. Negative 9 plus 11 would be 2, and that equals 180.
I don't like this right here. What's going on? Like, that does not look supplementary.
Well, I'll tell you they are.
But like those ones over there, like I can tell they're angles. Like I don't like highlight where the angle is.
This angle?
It's on a straight line.
Yeah, I know it's on a straight line, but it looks like they're just going together.
Like here
Yeah.
and here.
How's
Like
that
those.
180? They're facing each other.
But if you add this measure and this measure, they'd be a total 180. So if you add them together,
How'd you get 2? Oh.
negative 9 plus 11. So now we continue on, we subtract 2, get it away from our 18b. 18b equals 178. Now you might notice this isn't going to work out very well. I'll go ahead and spoiler alert that b is equal to 9.8 repeating. And no, I did not do that one on top.
Are they actually gonna be like that on our thing?
More often than not, no. But it's not impossible. And you go back and check your work. We could go back, plug it in, and put in like 9.9 or 9.8, and we get it to work out.
Sorry, like a lot of cheese.
I let you guys use calculators.
Thing is, you have to put that. How do you put 9.8 repeating in the calculator?
You would just put like, you like spam 8 for a while, or you just like put like 9.9. If you spam 8 for a while, it's a little more accurate. Questions on that? Okay, we're gonna try this second one. Okay. So, doing parallel, what kind of angles are these? Very good, Casey. Alternate interior angles. Okay? The alternate sides of the transversal, they're both interior. What do you know about alternate interior angles when those lines are parallel? They're congruent, very good. So what's that mean for an equation? What are we going to do? Set them equal. Very good. We're either going to set them equal or add 180. Well, supplementary means 180. Congruent means they're equal measure. So 6c minus 9 is equal to 2c plus 11. Okay? So yeah, we even saying, hey, we need to get all our c's together, okay? So we can either subtract 6c or subtract 2c. I'm a bigger fan of subtracting the 2c. And 6c minus 2c is 4c. Minus 9 is equal to 11. So now how do we move that negative 9 across to the other side now?
You add 9.
Add 9?
You get
Gotcha.
4c equals 20 divided by 4.
Okay.
C equals 5.
So we get 4c equals 20. And yeah, we would divide by 4 to undo that multiplication. And c does equal 5. Once again, we could go back and check. I'm not forcing you to, but I'm just saying it's a good idea if you want to check your work. It's a way to kind of instantly tell, hey, did I do this right? Because that might not tell you if you set up your equation correctly, but it'll tell you if you solved the equation correctly. So it'll tell you if you made a mistake and algebra mistake or not. Okay? Questions on that? Okay. So on this next part, okay, the example 2, it says, hey, what is the measure of angle 6? I don't want you guys to blurt. But I want you guys to think what the measure of angle 6 would be. Okay? You go ahead and write it down if you find it. Okay? I want you guys to think, and go on to the next page, in example 2, what the measure of angle 6 would be. sorry. Go past the page with the table. You go past the page with the table. It says example 2 at the very top.
Isn't it obvious? Is it obvious to me?
I mean, it probably is. That's it. You know about angle 6, what it is? Or you know about where it was?
You're asking me to tell you the answer?
No, I was asking you what you were saying was obvious.
I was asking you if it was obvious. You did not. So I don't know.
Oh. Depending on what you consider obvious. It might be obvious for some, not for others.
Okay.
Just kind of like how like different things come easily to some than others. It's just how it is for everything. Like for example, like Casey was knocking those transformations and like just visually out of the park. That comes easy to her for the visual part of it. Me?
Me.
Yeah. I was like, not me. Yeah. Other people too. Okay. So can somebody tell me what the measure of angle 6? Yes. Be 55 degrees. Now, how do you find that, Emily? Okay, it's congruent to this, right? What kind of angles are they? Alternate interior angles, okay? Did anybody find it a different way? I'm curious, did anybody find this a different way? Because there are different ways you can do it, okay? Did anybody think of a different way we could have found it? Casey? Okay, and then we could have found which angle? Okay, so we can say, hey, 55 and this angle 4 make a linear pair. So this would end up being 125 degrees. And then where do we go from there? We go logically. Okay, so you can say these are same side interior. Okay, so from here to here, okay, this could be same side interior angles. So they add up to 180, so it's 55. Or we could say like, hey, 55 is the vertical angle with angle 2. And so now they're going to be corresponding with this angle. There's lots of ways you can do it. I just want us to kind of think of like, oh, there's like a bunch of ways you can do it. It's kind of crazy. And if we wanted, we could actually go through and find all the other angles here, kind of like we did before. Questions on that and how there's multiple ways to do it. Okay, let's go on right below this to the example where it says, example 3. So it's saying, given L is parallel to M, so we're given that these two lines are parallel. I'm going to go ahead and mark that with arrows. Okay, we're given that, so I'm going to mark it. We're asked to answer the following and give the angle relationship you used. And what's it say that's underlined there? It's probably pretty important. They're each separate questions, which means when we solve A, so in A, measure of angle 7 is 100 degrees. What's the measure of angle 7 in letter B? 95. That doesn't mean A was wrong. That doesn't mean B is wrong. It means they're separate problems. So it means you do A, and for A, 7 is 100 degrees. But that's not true in B. Okay? So just because you found a measure an angle in letter A, it doesn't mean it's true for letter B. It's just so that way I don't have to make like 8 different pictures here. Okay? There'd be a lot of pictures and a lot going on, and kind of get crazy.
So we're using the pictures.
Yeah, so you're using the pictures kind of as a guideline. We're saying, hey, based upon this picture, if this is the case, then what's this? If this is the case, what's this? So here, if measure angle 7 is 100 degrees, what would the measure of angle 3 be? 100. Measure of angle 3, and I want us to write it like this, measure of angle 3 would equal 100 degrees. Now I'll put a semicolon to explain, hey, what angle relationship am I using? How did I get there?
We have to explain.
Mhm.
Ugh,
So help us practice what kind of angles they are.
they're vertical.
Not quite. 7 and 3 are not quite vertical.
They're cross.
They're alternate interior. They alternate sides of the transversal, alternate,
They're on the
and they're inside, interior. So they're alternate interior angles. Okay?
I really want to shoot this in the trash again.
Should I take it from you so that way you don't have the urge?
You could like, well, we could have like something like if I miss, I have to do something.
Okay. How about if you miss or hit anybody, you have 15 push-ups.
And if you make it, you get 100 on the next.
God, no, that thing was in the way.
I'm sorry you threw bricks.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, double or
15
nothing.
push-ups.
Double or nothing.
You asked for this. You asked to have a deal.
Double or nothing.
No. 1, 2, 3, 4,
But he's
5,
supposed to show up
6,
now.
7, 8, 9, That's true. His back is. That's okay.
Oh.
We'll give it to him. Okay, now you.
His hands were far back though. I could not do that.
Sam has one of those. When you grab it, put it in.
Hoop it, hoop it.
God.
That's 15 more push-ups.
No, that was a bad throw.
Okay. So if we go on to letter B now, okay, we're gonna clear off what we knew from this one. Angle 7 is no longer 100 degrees. Now, what's angle 7?
95.
95 degrees. Now angle 7 is 95 degrees. And what angle are we trying to find based upon that?
6.
Angle 6. So if
Hold
angle
on,
7
I
is
thought we were
95
on
degrees,
100.
don't blur. What would angle 6 be? That's our question that we're trying to figure out. Okay? Ian, what do you think, buddy?
95 degrees.
I'm gonna disagree with you. Mason,
85,
85. I'm gonna agree with you. Why would I agree with you, Mason?
because they're same side interior.
Very good. They're same side interior angles. And same side interior angles are in fact supplementary when those lines are parallel. Same side interior angles are supplementary when those lines are parallel. Okay, so you take 180 minus that 95, and you get 85. Okay? What was that?
Didn't we feel like right out of the thing?
Yes. Yeah. I mean. Okay. Go ahead. I'll take it. Okay. I want you guys to try to do C, D, E, and F here. I want you guys to try to do C, D, E, and F, okay? When you have it, I want you to raise your hand. Or if you have questions, I want you to raise your hand.
Alternate exterior.
11. Oh my goodness. I was
found that you were
that was
both on
so
each other.
close. That's the closest I've ever been.
I don't know how this works.
So you're saying, so this that makes sense why we how we said that we were alternate here. Let's get to it.
I don't know what kind of angle
So go down to alternate variables. They're both interior. You know what that means? It's like 3, 4, 5, and 6. They're opposite sides of the transverse. You know what that means? Yep. So our 3 and 6 are opposite sides of the transversal. They're both sides, so they're opposite. 4 and 5 are the same. When you see things back to the bottom, when the two lines are parallel, is it going to be under the time? So we say angle 7 and angle 3. We look at those, they alternate sides of the transversal. They're both interior, so they're alternate angles. From that, we can say, oh, they're alternate angles. As long as you're parallel like this whole thing, they have to be. We're saying what kind of angles are 1 and 1 and 5 and 4.
Yes,
Alternate exterior, alternate exterior, or whatever, alternate exterior when the lines are parallel. We keep going back and start with that. Until we start having Did you get
Then we go back to our chart and we say, oh, we're finishing the test. Pastor, did you watch that video yet? Gotcha. Yeah, we need that would confuse. Is it a video? It is. Yeah, it's on there. Don't you worry. Yeah, so we're doing the alternating arc.
One's inside, one's outside. So the way I teach this is one in the river, yeah, one in the river and one on the bank. But they make a axe, so the axe is. The axe is a little.
We had one.
So one in five. So one in five. Are they inside the river, outside the river? Are they on the same side or opposite side?
That is so funny.
So they're alternate.
Change my mind. That's true.
And then two and two.
Go check it out.
One's inside the river, one's outside the river. Okay,
Yes, yeah,
so then you have to look at, I look at this as a forward stop sign, this is a forward stop sign. And this is in this position as a forward stop sign, and this is in the same position as a forward stop sign. So it's corresponding. Does that make sense? Does that help?
We're gonna get 50%.
Mr. Cosmo, when you get done, when you come over, okay, so she's struggling, so how I taught her was, if you were, this is inside the river, and this is outside the river. So you got one outside, one inside, so then the next step is to look, this is a forward stop sign, and this is a forward stop sign. And then you can position them to forward stop sign.
That's right. That makes sense for you. I probably won't say it that way, but if it makes sense for you, continue thinking like that. That's awesome. Okay.
Well, that's how I was taught when I'm visual too, so I have. Okay, so like.
I don't have.
So if you say river and outside, then you know, okay, if it's one inside, one outside, you get the alternate interior, exterior, cause we got one on each one. So I need circle, okay, so the front, where am I in position?
I'm
Okay,
leaving
so
Friday.
this one right here.
We're following number 8.
So you want to go angle 3 to angle 8, right?
What time?
It's like
Okay,
4. I don't know.
So, one's inside, one's
They're both
out,
on the
one's
same
inside,
side.
one outside, right?
Inside or
They
outside.
don't have.
Probably like an
They
hour
don't
after
have
school.
that, right? So now,
All three.
we're gonna
We're
try
all
to
sure.
go.
I can leave whenever actually, because I'm driving.
A little harder way. You're gonna wanna get to 8, so
What
what's
happens
the
if you
easiest way to get close to 8?
That's true.
If you are, now go back to what's on the inside. So what would be an easy way to get close to 8? You need to get close to 7 or 2, right? So okay, well, what's congruent? Alternate interior?
Why are you changing my number next year? What corresponds?
Right?
I'm gonna go back.
Hey guys, we're gonna talk about these up here. We're gonna talk about these up here now. Okay. So if we look at it on letter C here, if measure of angle 1 is 120, measure of angle 1 is 120 degrees.
I'm not writing with the eraser.
What is the measure of angle 5 going to be? Well, first of all, we should probably ask ourselves a question. What kind of angles are they? Well, they're alternate exterior angles because they're not on the same side of the transversal. Okay, they're on different sides. That means they're alternating. Okay, so we know alternate. Let me say, okay, are they inside or outside those two lines? Well, they're outside, so they're exterior. And then if we need to remember, okay, what do alternate exterior angles do? Are those congruent? Are those supplementary? Go back to our table for a bit, okay? Until we start memorizing, it's going to take time. So we go back to the table tool and say, oh, they're congruent when the lines are parallel. So if this is 120, then so is this. Look at letter D here. If we look at letter D here, okay, we'll say, okay, well now we're given measuring angle 2 is 40 degrees. We're given the measuring angle 2 is 40 degrees, and we're asked to find the measure of angle 8. Okay, measuring angle 2, we're trying to figure out measure of angle 8. So we say, okay, well, in order to figure that out, we had to figure out the relation. Anyone tell me what that relation will be? They're an old school one from chapter 1. Vertical angles. Those vertical angles, we had them in our review today too, okay? At the beginning, okay? They are opposite each other, but they share the vertex and their sides make the x. And vertical angles are always congruent. So measure of angle 8 is 40 degrees. Okay, so on 4, on letter E, excuse me, measure of angle 4 and measure of angle 2, so we have to say, okay, angle 4 is 40 degrees. What is angle 2 in comparison? Okay, what kind of angles are those? They're on the same side of the transversal, so they're not alternating. Kenzie, you thought D would be 140? Okay. If they were a linear pair, they would. But vertical angles are the congruent ones. Thank you for stopping me and asking that question. Okay. So angle 4 and angle 2, they're on the same side, but they're not both exterior. They're not both interior. You have one of each. So you say, okay, well, since they're not kind of both exterior, not both interior, we say, are they in the same spot? Yeah, one's bottom left, one's bottom left. So we say they are corresponding. Grace had that right. We say they're corresponding angles. And I'll show them down to CORR angles. Okay. So what do we know about corresponding angles? When those lines are parallel, what are they? Congruent. So measuring angle 2 is 40 degrees. Okay. Then we look at letter F here. Measure of angle 7 is 125 degrees. What is going to be the measure of angle 8? Okay, when we say 7 and 8, what kind of angle relationship does that have? It's another old school one. A vertical, but it's a linear pair. They make a straight line. Okay, it's a linear pair here. So they're a linear pair. And a linear pair, do they add up to 180 or are they congruent? Add to 180, they make a straight line, and a line is 180. We have to take 180 minus 125, which gives us 55 degrees. Okay. Now you notice on G and H, what's different on G and H? What do we see right before G and H? We see little stars, right? It means something's a little bit different. So here's the thing that's different on G and H. You have to use a third angle. Because from angle 5 to angle 2, if we're given angle 5, we're trying to find angle 2, okay? We cannot go straight there. We cannot go straight there. We're not able to, okay? If we look at 5 and we look at 2 there, there's no relationship. They're not corresponding. They're not same side interior, same side exterior, alternate interior, alternate exterior. There's no relationship. But if we find a different angle first, if we say, hey, this is 165, we can find a different angle first, one of these other angles, and then find angle 2. Okay, so we can find angle 4 if you want. Okay, there's a lot of different angles. Okay, any of the other angles we could have picked. What's angle 4 compared to angle 5? They form a what? Linear pair. They form a straight line. So we know the measure of angle 4 has to be 15 degrees. Has to be 15 degrees because it adds up to 180. It's supplementary with angle 5 because they form a linear pair. So now, if we know angle 4 is 15 degrees, how can we go from 4 to 2? What kind of angles are those?
Same spot.
The same spot, which is what kind of angle? Corresponding. Okay? So the measure of angle 2 is going to be 15 degrees because corresponding angles are congruent. So we have to go through another angle. They can't go straight there because there's no relationship. Okay? It's kind of like if you're stalking someone on social media, sometimes you have to go through a friend of a friend. Okay?
Oh my god.
Well, you never done that?
Oh, I've done that.
I'll say I've done it.
I am like big time stalker every day. I can sit on my phone for like an hour at night before I go to bed and I just scroll and
Just talking to people, huh?
yeah,
Oh, so Emily's concerned.
that's not creepy
I
at
do
all.
it the old fashioned
All
way.
literally me and all my
Block
friends do it. Like it is so
Yeah.
like and then you're like, oh my gosh, look who I just found.
When I was in college, and I would take like the roster for like a basketball game or like a volleyball game, and I'd like look up the people, like look up where they're from,
All
that kind of
boys
stuff,
do
and I would just
that.
like trash talk them. No, I would do it to try and like get on everything. Like
You're
I
from
do it for, like,
Beatrice.
and I would just try and like trash talk them with it. So I did that in college. Yeah, I was
Oh, so
pretty
you
good
would
at
like
this.
look them up and see what they do or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, and then
you
I would like specifically trash talk to them.
Oh, you're mean.
Yeah, I do that the old fashioned way. I
It
just
worked too.
drop.
But anyway, we don't talk about that anymore. So
Wow, Mr. Foss was throwing major shade.
I threw a lot of shade. Okay,
Because he had long hair. Now
I
he doesn't.
did.
He
Okay,
was blonde
so,
and spicy.
Measure of angle 3 to measure of angle 8.
Or spunky.
Angle 3 and angle 8. We don't have a relationship there. We don't have a relationship between angle 3 and angle 8. Once again, asterisk, we have to use a third angle. We have to go through another angle here. Friend of a friend. Okay? So, what angle can we go through? Somebody pick one. Kale, pick another
Two.
angle.
2.
Okay, I heard 2. We'll go to 2. Okay? You can pick a lot of ones. You can pick literally any other angle.
No,
Okay.
actually, I take that back.
Okay? Emily, what do you want to do? Cool. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 6. What kind of angles are those? Linear pair. So what's the measure of angle 6 then? 40. Because they have to be supplementary. So we know the measure of angle 6 is 40 because they make a linear pair.
Wait,
So
what?
8 is 40 because what do we know about the angle 8 versus compared with angle 6?
It is.
They're corresponding.
They're corresponding.
Yes. That
The
works.
corresponding angles are congruent since those lines are parallel. So we have to go through a third angle. We have to go through that friend of a friend. Okay? Yes, Casey.
What if you like do girl through another angle?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that.
Okay.
I got the right answer too.
Alright, so
Because 2 would be.
there's just no angle, there's no relationship there, and we need to back it with facts though is the thing. So yes, so let me break it down like on a test for example, okay? On a test for example, if you just put like 15 degrees, okay? I give you part of the points, but I'm asking you to explain on the test as well. And it'll say like, here's a spot to explain what kind of relationships you use. So if you don't explain, I'll say, okay, that's true, but where's your evidence to support it kind of thing. Kind of like, where's your work cited?
Yeah.
I think on a lot of these, I think we're going to start remembering a lot better. I'm considering a wood bank. I haven't fully decided. And nothing's going to like shove me one or
Why would we need a work bank? You don't have to. Like,
Continuing on. Okay. Here it says we're going to go through this example briefly. Okay. Example 4. Find the measure of each angle. Okay. Well, here we're given a shape. Okay. It's called a trapezoid. We don't know that yet. That's okay. It's a four-sided figure right now. Okay. And so right now we
Yeah,
see these
so it
different
looks like a
angles.
rectangle.
We don't really know how we can find it. Okay. And we're saying what's the relationship between A and D? Well, we don't really see anything here. Well, we can always extend the lines when given shapes. So here's what we're going to do with these lines. I'm going to extend them out. We're trying to find something between A and D, so I'm going to extend the lines there. So now if I look at this little section here, if I even cover up the right side, do I see two parallel lines cut by a transversal? Yeah, if I extend those lines out, and go ahead and please extend those lines on your paper as well, okay? Then we can start seeing, oh, we see two parallel lines cut by a transversal. So what kind of angles are A and D here? This 2x and this x minus 12. What kind of angles are they? Same side, interior.
Hold on, that does not make sense.
Which part of it?
Supposed to be angle A.
Yes, thank you. It should be angle A, angle A, angle D. You right. It doesn't show on your paper?
Not
That's
those.
super awkward. Okay, it doesn't really show up here anymore either. You can like faintly see it. It's really bad. I need to fix that. So that shows better. Good call. Okay. So when those lines are parallel like they are, what do we know about same side interior angles? Are they supplementary or congruent?
Equal 180.
They equal 180. Okay. So we'll walk through and solve this. 2x plus x minus 12 equals 180. Why did we not set them equal?
If they equal.
Because they're not congruent. They equal 180. Okay, they're supplementary, so we added the 180. Okay, that's how we set up the equation. Okay, big brain. Okay, from there. Okay, 2x plus x is
3x.
3x minus 12 equals 180. Okay, we're gonna add 12. We're gonna speed run this problem. Here, okay,
168.
not quite. That'd be if we were subtracting
What?
12.
192.
Okay, and if we divide both sides by 3, we get x equals 64. Very good.
Wow, I can't believe I just did that.
Hey, it happens. You took a risk, you put yourself out there, it happens, that's okay. Okay? I'd rather have you take the risk, shoot your shot, and miss, than not shoot at all. Okay? What a
I
classical
miss all the
shooter.
time though.
Okay?
Not
Not
Jesus Christ.
Just
Okay.
you want a classical
Okay.
shooters.
Okay, fine. I want people who are willing to shoot their shot. Is that a better way to phrase it? Okay,
Let's go wrong with
sorry.
you.
Okay, continuing on. Okay, we do have theorems and postulates here. Here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. I'm not going to be incredibly concerned with whether or not you remember that these are theorems and this is a postulate. I'm not going to be incredibly concerned about that. What I want you to know, though, is that these are straight basically from our angle relationships. We've already learned these. We just haven't given them the name. We've already learned them. For example, alternate exterior angles theorem, it just says, hey, when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, which is what you've been dealing with this whole time, alternate exterior angles are congruent. You've already learned that. Okay? We're just saying, hey, it's a theorem.
Whoa.
Alternate interior angles. When two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, alternate interior angles are congruent. When two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, corresponding angles are congruent.
We should have this.
Okay. Vertical angles theorem, we knew that one from before. They're always congruent regardless of lines being parallel. Linear pair of angles, we already knew that.
On your notes.
Okay? They're on your notes. It's literally at the
It's
bottom
at
of
the
your page
bottom
right
of the paper.
now. Okay? Same side exterior angles theorem. When two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, same side exterior angles are supplementary. When two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, same side interior angles are supplementary. Okay? I'm going to put a star by two of these. I'm going to put a star by vertical angles theorem and a star by linear pair of angles. I recommend you do the same. And I'm going to say, hey, right below here, what does this star mean? This star means that these are always true. Those two are always true. When are the other five true?
They're
When
congruent.
they're cut by a transversal.
When two parallel lines are cut by a transversal. Okay, the other five are true only when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal. Those two, though, are 100% of the time true regardless. Okay?
Take a 3-minute break.
We're actually almost done.
Okay.
Okay, we got about maybe like 5
5
minutes.
pages
We're done.
left.
Yeah, only about 20 pages left.
So actually only
Thank goodness.
una
Okay,
páginas left.
so this just goes back to this. Okay. Once again, I'm not gonna be concerned whether you guys know that this is a theorem versus this is a postulate. I am not concerned whether you guys know that. Okay.
I don't even know what postulate means.
Oof. Okay.
That's
So
enough.
we're gonna go on to this example 5. We are going to work on a proof here. Okay. So we're gonna prove that an angle relationship exists. Okay. We're starting off saying line A is parallel to line B. We're trying to prove that angle 1 is congruent to angle 7. Well, we could jump straight there by saying they're alternate exterior angles. We could. But we're trying to prove that this theorem even exists. We're trying to prove, hey, this is a thing. This is how like people originally proved that, hey, this is a thing. Okay, is by doing this. Okay. So what's going to be my first statement?
Given.
A
Which is?
parallel to B.
A is parallel to B. That's our given. And I like to mark that information. It's already drawn on here that they're parallel. Okay. Hey, could we already fill in our last statement?
Yes.
What's our last statement going to be?
The proof.
What we're trying to prove.
Yes.
Because once you get to what we're trying to prove, you stop arguing. Once you convince someone you're right, you're not going to keep arguing. That's how you make them upset. That's how you trigger them. Okay? So now we really only have two more to do. Granted, they're the more complicated of the two comparatively, because the others are just fill in. Okay. So hey, we're saying reason 2, corresponding angles postulate. So what kind of angles are we talking about in this step? Corresponding angles. It says it in the name. Okay. So on this picture of the four angles we see, which two are corresponding angles? 1 and 5 are corresponding angles. So we're going to say angle 1 is congruent to angle 5, because that's what the corresponding angles postulate says. Hey, if these lines are parallel, those corresponding angles are congruent. Okay? Pretty straightforward there, I think. Step 3, vertical angles. What are the only vertical angles we see here? Emily already said 7 and 5 are the only vertical angles we see. What does the vertical angles theorem tell us? That those angles are they're congruent. So we're going to say angle 5 is congruent to angle 7. And we can mark that on our picture. Since this has one arc, we'll put one arc there. And hey, from our picture, I think it's pretty straightforward to see at this point that since 1 has one arc and 7 has one arc, they're congruent. And that's our last thing to prove. And we can use a transitive property to get there, or the substitution property saying, hey, if 1 and 7 are both congruent to 5, we can cut out the middleman and go straight from 1 to 7. Now once again, there'll be some of these later where it's just a two-stepper. And you literally just have this, and you go right to here. You cut out steps 2 and 3. This is just saying, hey, this is how we prove this theorem even exists in the first place. Okay? It's just saying yes. We're just saying this is how we prove this theorem exists in the first place. But they'll go straight from 1 to 4. And we'll say, hey, these lines are parallel. Well, 1 and 7 are congruent. These are alternate exterior angles. Boom. Questions on that? Okay. We're skipping the next proof, and we're going to the last part of this section. As I try to avoid dying. Okay. So, over here we see a lot going on right now, okay? Kind of looks like a tic-tac-toe square, slanted, okay? Or a hashtag slanted, okay? So, anyway, if there are two sets of parallel lines, okay? Each acts as a transversal. That word was crossing his mind.
You didn't even shake his hand.
No, I'm still trying to fist bump right now. I'm on the last part of my sickness. So trying to save people.
Well, Danielle came with mine. You can watch them all the time and put hands like
Okay, so if there are two sets of parallel lines, which there are, L and M are parallel to each other. And then P and Q are parallel to each other. Is P parallel to L? No, they intersect. And this has 2 marks, 2 arrows, and these others have 1 arrow, okay, to tell us that. If there's 2 sets of parallel lines, each acts as a transversal, okay? So if I could cover up this bottom line, do we see 2 parallel lines running this way, cut by a transversal? Yes, okay? If I cover up the top line, do you see 2 parallel lines running vertically, cut by the transversal Q? Yeah, we do. If I cover up the far right line, you see 2 parallel lines, P and Q, running left to right, cut by the transversal L. And if I cover the far left, we see 2 parallel lines, P and Q, cut by the transversal M. So you see all these different things going on. So from this, we can figure out all 8 angles by knowing if these are parallel and these are parallel, L and M parallel and P and Q are parallel, and knowing the given angle is 105. We can find all 8 angles, okay? And it's helpful, tip, here you go. Cover up one line as you're going through this, because if you cover up that line, I think that makes it a lot easier to see what's going on here, okay? What's one angle we can figure out from knowing that that's 105? 7, what's 7 going to be?
105.
Okay, why? Tell me why. They're vertical angles. So angle 7 is 105 degrees. They're vertical angles. Awesome. We can figure out 5. What's 5 going to be? Corresponding with our given. So what's the measure? 105 as well. Those corresponding angles are congruent, but those lines are parallel. Can we figure out another angle there? 3. How can we figure out 3?
They are vertical.
Vertical with 5. Is there another way we can figure out 3? What is it with our given?
7 and 3 are corresponding.
Okay, 7 and 3 are corresponding. And what's it with our given? Alternate interior. So all of those three ways tell us, hey, 3 is 105 degrees as well. Okay, boom, we got 3 of these angles knocked out. Okay, you guys want to do this? Does anyone see another angle they want to say what they think it is?
2.
Okay, angle 2. Okay, so I'll cover up this down here on the bottom. What do you think angle 2 is, Ian? Okay, 105. Why do you say that?
Because it is straight across from the given one.
Okay, so we can't use that. I'm covering that up, so we don't see that right now. So somebody give me another reason why that would be
Oh,
105.
it's corresponding with 5.
Corresponding with 5. Very good. It's also alternate exterior with 3. So those are both valid reasons as to why this would be 2. Okay? Can somebody tell me another angle we would know? Grace.
1,
1. What's 1 going to be?
175. I mean 75.
75? Why is it 75?
Because 1 and 8 make a straight line and equal 180.
Okay, but do we know 8?
Oh,
Okay, so 1 and 2, do those do the same thing though? 1 and 2, do those make a linear pair as well? Yeah, so they're also add up to 180, okay? But now could we also find 8? Yeah, we could find it out, but we could have found it out before too. What's 8 going to be? 105. Okay? All sorts of different things, guys. It's vertical with angle 2. It's linear pair with angle 1. Alternate interior with angle 5. Corresponding with angle 3. 4 different ways we can know that one. Okay? Could we figure out angle 4 and angle 6 now?
yes.
What's angle 4? Okay, 75. How do we know that?
Alternate interior angle.
Alternate interior angles with angle 1, so they're congruent. Same side interior with angle 8, so they're supplementary. If we cover up the top as well, same side interior with the given, so 75. What's angle 6 going to be now? 105. Okay? It's alternate exterior with angle 2. It's corresponding with 8. It's corresponding with 7. Alternate interior with the given. Linear pair with 4. Okay, questions on any of those? Okay.
That was,
Is that homework time?
It is homework time.
you have a lot. You didn't have any last time?
We have like 20 pages.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, it could be worse.
Yeah, it could be 21.
It is stapled. But there's a lot of blank space on the first
No,
one. You can write your name on that one. Blank space, what? Blank space, I'll write your name. Thank you.
Earlier,
Yeah.
Mr. Hossel, when you said tell me why earlier, it took everything in me to not say any line from the back.
Tell me why.
No.
That's good. That's good stuff.
What the
I
heck?
back
Fire in my wallet.
Okay. I'm gonna trust you to get this back there. Okay, Skylar?
Looks like he's a
I'm
muscle.
gonna trust you to do that.
What?
You mentioned it anyway. You guys know better than-
Oh, get him.
Okay. So hey guys, front page. We're talking about parallel lines, planes, that kind of thing, skew. Okay, whether they're parallel, skew, or perpendicular. Okay. Next page. We're doing what we started with. Some of the stuff we started with in our notes. Okay. On 16, if you notice, 16 has a star on it, and it says in parentheses, use the third angle. We did one of those in our notes. 17, 18, and 19 are like the ones some of those we did earlier in notes right before that. And on the back, we're doing what we ended with there, okay? With a two-step proof at the end.
Like that.
Nope. Right before that, with the proof. With a two-step, yeah, cowboy boots proof, okay? Questions on that? All right, Gucci Gang. Y'all got the time to work. Please, if you want to listen to music, just don't let it be a distraction yet. Cool beans?
No.